Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Kushagra Goel. And before we begin today's newspaper analysis, a reminder for all of you that we at Law Prep are bringing for all the CLAT aspirants a path-breaking mock test series on free. And that mock test will be happening from 15, 16 and 17 January. All the three mock tests will be happening at the time period when the original exam for CLAT happens, so that you can feel how the real exam takes place. Secondly, this series at every day on 6 p.m. we'll also do an analysis of all the questions at the mock, and then on the same day on 9:30 p.m. you all will be able to check your results. See, as we become closer and closer to the examination, it becomes paramount for you all to prepare and at the same time test your skills, because only then you can find out what are your weak points, what are your strong points, and then make the next move, the next step about ensuring how you will be able to succeed in the examination. Because see, at the end of the day, it is a competitive examination where you have to test yourself against other students of India, and this mock test series gives you that experience. All you have to do is register yourself at our website, that is online.lawpreptutorial.com, and register yourself for the mock test series and give the mock test so that you can analyze at what stage of your preparation you are on. Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are doing it a little differently. That is, I am following Mumbai's edition instead of the Delhi one. There was some problem with the Delhi's edition where the front page was not visible. So we are following the Mumbai's edition. Don't worry, the main national news that are needed to be covered for your preparation are the same in all the editions. So nothing changes actually, right? So let's begin. So on the front page, there is mostly news about the farmer protest, and the main news is actually about the second impeachment of Donald Trump. So he was impeached in 2019 for abuse of power, and now he's being he's been impeached on the ground of violation of democracy, and that he instigated the mob to attack the Capitol Hill. So in 2019 it was abuse of power, that is, he had stopped aid to Ukraine in light of getting political benefit in return, and now he has directly attacked the institution of democracy. So in light of that, impeachment proceedings are going ahead against Donald Trump. This will be the first time if he is impeached. A president has been impeached by the House 2 times in a 4-year tenure itself. Okay, so that is a big news. Then apart from that, on the national on the front page is also another update. It is a judgment from Allahabad High Court. So under the Special Marriage Act, the court has stated that, see, now you do not need to provide a notice. Okay, so this is something, in light all of this is related to the controversy about anti-conversion laws that have been passed and relate to inter-religious marriages. So if a person wants to undertake inter-religious marriages, they have to register it under the Special Marriage Act. Now there is another condition there that you have to notify before you are about to take that marriage. The court has stated that, see, such a restriction is a violation of person's privacy. Now this is also a similar provision exists in the anti-conversion laws that have been recently been passed by Uttar Pradesh and different states. Now Allahabad High Court have held this central provision as to be violation of fundamental rights. So we'll have to wait on the story of how it will develop vis-a-vis the laws or the ordinance passed. Okay, so right now they exist only as ordinance. One thing that we have to see is whether they are actually made into laws, and secondly whether they will stand the scrutiny of constitutionality. Okay, we have talked about the case of Ashokan KM. I have continuously been talking about that, so make a note of it. Okay, it is the most important one that you will have to deal with probably. Okay, with regards to fundamental rights and privacy versus notifying or undertaking inter-religious marriages. Okay. Then moving ahead, the most important national news, all of them are mostly the same, political ones from this side or the other. So we'll be moving ahead directly towards the editorial page. Okay. So the editorial page is talking about another aspect on which the farm bills could be declared unconstitutional, which is Article 100 and Article 107 of the Indian Constitution. They talk about a bill being passed validly. Now what is the provision that, see, for a bill to be passed, there is rules in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha that if even one member wants a vote or a formal vote while passing a bill, the vote has to be taken place. Now when the farm bills were passed in Rajya Sabha, they were passed by a voice vote. Now that is where the problem is, that there was commotion in the house. The opposition members wanted a formal vote to record their vote that they had stood against the laws, but the bill was passed without taking a formal vote. So the article articulates that, see, on that ground it could mean, if the court holds it so that the vote was illegal, then the bills have been passed illegally, and then they'll have to be sent back for a vote in the house. Okay, so that is the provision. The two things that stand out here is Article 100 and Article 107, which provide of passage of a bill to become a law in the house. Okay, so those are two things that you need to know. Then on the left hand side is about the speech of Subramaniam Jaishankar, our Foreign External Affairs Minister, and something we talked about his speech yesterday, and this is the same thing, that, see, countries need to start acting on their war against terrorism, and that is exactly what the stand of India was. Okay. The second one, final blow, Biden shouldn't be deterred by the policy reversal on Cuba by Trump administration. So Donald Trump's administration stated or qualified Cuba as a terrorist sponsored state. Okay. Now this is a formal declaration, so a review process has to be undertaken. Now the article is totally about politics between US and Cuba. Cuba, being a communist state, had been on crossheads with America, who have opposed communism as a policy. Okay, and now after years of Soviet Union being disintegrated, there was a call for things to be relaxed between US and Cuba, but this step is a reversal of that. The article basically argues that, sees, Joe Biden should not be deterred by a procedural lapse and should undertake normalization of relationship between United States and Cuba. This is also in light that US had been on a regular footing contributing or engaging with the communist China, which subscribes to communism, but has been against a small country of the size of Cuba. Okay. Then the second article is also about mediation and farm bills. Okay, so this is analysis the committee's mandate, the committee that has been appointed, the 4-member committee by the Supreme Court. It is stating that why this could not be a real mediator or the problems with this, and there are two principles that set out in it. That, see, when you want to mediate, the one most important principle is of consent, that both parties should be consenting to mediate. This is something that is absent in the present scenario, where the farmer unions, one, did not want a mediation, and secondly, they did not commit or consent to appear or want to be before this committee, right? The second is that mediators appointed are also trustworthy, that they have the trust of both the parties, and in the present case all the 4 members of the panel have actively supported the farm bill, so their impartiality is also something that is in question. Out of court settlements, ADR, of which mediation is a part of, within that the trust on the mediator becomes equally important, and they have to remain bipartisan. Now this is where the problem with the current committee lies. Okay. Then moving ahead, on the left hand side is analysis of Karnataka politics and how it is regressing in general from the stalwarts that existed to now Okay, that is not really relevant from our point of view. Second, again, the op-ed here, building trust in vaccines, is about, again, the controversy of vaccine data not coming out and vaccine takers, all of that. Okay, then two protest and false parallels. See, when the event on Capitol Hill had taken place, we had talked about how China commented on it. It commented by drawing parallel to the protests in Hong Kong. The op-ed is actually to refute the claim, something we talked about that day itself, that see, the protests in Hong Kong, even if from outsiders' perspective look violent, but they were basically for want of democracy, and the protests in US on the Capitol Hill were for removal of democracy. So there are action look the same, but the context is completely different. Okay, moving ahead, the data point is about grandmasters and India now gaining grandmasters at a younger age. Okay, so that is not something really relevant. Then moving ahead, on the other national news, there is one that is most important for us, which is about approval and purchase of the LCA Tejas. On the international front, again, there is not much news. We'll be talking about one most important news about LCA Tejas and the government of India approving the purchase of LCA Tejas. Okay. On the other national news, the central government has asked the Supreme Court to exempt armed forces from the adultery law. Okay. So, Supreme Court had decriminalized adultery, but the central government is asking for an exemption for the armed forces. So we'll have to wait for how and what the Supreme Court states about this. Okay, moving ahead, on the international front, yesterday US declassified certain document about policy, and in which it asked for a strengthening of relationship with India to counterbalance China. Okay, so that is one most important thing that we need to make a note of. Certain other things within the document have not been declassified, which are about conversation between India and United States. Okay, then impeachment trial against Donald Trump, that is something we discussed at the front page. Okay, this is the news about Alexei Navalny. Okay, he is a critic of Vladimir Putin in Russia. There was a physical attack of poisoning him recently, but he recovered from that and got saved. Now he is returning to Russia, even though there is a threat on his life there. Okay, then moving ahead, on the economic and sporting front, not much news apart from Hyundai Motor is now exporting cars to Nepal from railway tracks. Okay, so that is strengthening of relationship between Nepal and India on a trading basis. So we'll move ahead to the main news for us, which is the LCA Tejas. Okay, so CCS, the Cabinet Committee on Security, approved the purchase of light combat aircraft, that is LCA Tejas. Okay, so the Cabinet Committee has approved for purchase of 83. 73 will be Mark 1A variant. Okay, remember these distinctions because these will be relevant to the information I will give you about them today. Okay, so the purchase agreement is about Mark 1A variant plus 10 trainer aircrafts, which are twin seaters. Okay, which is for training purposes. Apart from that, what will be the new thing about these new variants? Okay, so there are certain categories, certain equipments that are highlighted here. The first one is active electronically scanned array, which is a system that will be fixed on the aircraft. It's a radar system for better sighting of what comes within the range of the aircraft. The second thing is beyond visual range missiles. Okay, BVRAAM. Okay, so BVRAAM, BRAM, are those missiles that you can attack with a locking system. Okay, so they are will be fixed on the Mark 1A variant, which is the unique aspect about this variant. Now a little bit of history of the HAL Tejas, which is that, see, this is the second indigenous aircraft that Indian military will be integrating, okay? The first one was HAL's HF-24 Marut, okay? It was known as Spirit of the Tempest. It was active since 1967 to 1990s. Tejas becomes the second indigenous aircraft to be inducted, okay? It is manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and there are already 2 active squadrons of Mark 1 variant, okay? The first one is 45 Squadron of the Indian Air Force, known as the Flying Daggers, okay? And the second is known as Flying Bullets, right? Remember this information, it is important. The first squadron of the aircraft LCA Tejas is known as Flying Daggers, 45th Squadron of the Indian Air Force. It is based in Sular in Tamil Nadu, okay? This is the Mark 1 variant, okay? The current purchase agreement is about Mark 1A variant, okay? So see, last year it was Rafale in question from CLAT. This becomes another important purchase because it is the largest indigenous aircraft or any indigenous contract that has been given, right? The LCA Tejas has been in development since 2001. So after 20 years, it has finally been approved for a larger purchase agreement, okay? So that is why it becomes really important from military purchase point of view. The Tejas will be replacing the aging MiG-21 aircrafts that we had got from the Soviet Union, okay? The MiG squadrons will be phased out as they become old, and the LCA Tejas will be replacing them, okay? The contract will be completed by 2024-2026, right? That is the time period. What is unique about Tejas is, apart from being manufactured in India, all the components out of that, 60% of them are also indigenously procured. So it is more or less a self-reliant, India, completely Indian aircraft in that sense, okay? So on that note, we will end for the day. I again remind all of you that, see, the new mock test series of Law Prep is there. Register yourself for those mock tests and take benefit of them to analyze your preparation, okay? I have considered your opinion about doing a separate video for Middle East, and I am thinking that we will go ahead with that idea if it is more feasible. Nevertheless, today, because this was the event and it is also a festive day, we took a little bit of break in the sense of information that is relevant for you all, plus for you all to prepare for the mock tests that are there. I hope all the viewers of the channel will register themselves from the mock test series and prepare for them. That is why, to not confuse you with more information, we skipped that part today. All the best to all those viewers who will be giving the mock test tomorrow and the next 2 days also. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. If you like the video, give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.